After offering free tutoring lessons to a teenager, an English teacher develops a romantic relationship with him. Claire Wilson, an English teacher, prepares for her first day at Westerbrook High School in the 2013-14 school year. In the school hallway, she asks Catherine, the French teacher, where the faculty room is and explains that she is new. Catherine inquires as to where she transferred from, and Claire replies that she previously taught at Riverton Middle School. During the morning faculty meeting, Principal Rivas introduces the new English teacher to the remainder of the staff. The French teacher then suggests that they go out for drinks soon so she can catch Claire up on the inner workings of the school, which Claire is delighted about. Claire goes grocery shopping that afternoon. While there, she notices a lipstick display and takes one tube, deftly slipping it into her bag. In her car, she takes out the lipstick and applies it in front of the mirror. Claire tells her husband Matt that night, as they prepare for bed, that she wishes he didn't have to go on his work trip. He agrees, especially because she's ovulating and it's the best time for them to try to conceive. The woman suggests they can try again next month. Matt then questions her about her day, and she admits to stealing the lipstick from the store earlier. Her behaviors perplex him, but she dismisses them as harmless. Claire's senior English class meets for the first time the next day, and her classmates Eric and Josh are taken aback by their stunning teacher. The pupil looks at the woman with interest as she reads Dylan Thomas' poetry, "Do not go gentle into that good night." Later, Eric visits Mr. Castillo's office to inquire about the Travis County Community Scholarship. The elder man claims that being the soccer team captain and working part-time at the diner are positives on his forthcoming application, but he must get at least 1,250 on his SATs. So the student vows to work on it. Logan notices Claire getting into her car at soccer practice and asks Eric who the lovely woman is. He says she's their new English instructor, but he complains that she gave them a lot of homework. Logan looks at Eric's ex-girlfriend Allison's Instagram profile after practice and notes that she wasn't as attractive when she and his pal were together. Then he looks at Josh's sister Mary's page and teases his friend, saying that his sister has also become more attractive over the summer. Eric then asks Josh to give him a ride to work, which his pal agrees to. Meanwhile, Matt informs Claire that his trip has been canceled and encourages her to go out and celebrate her first day of school. When she looks down at her microwave dinner, she collects her belongings and walks out. Logan and Josh signal Eric from outside to go to the back of the cafe as his shift comes to a close. They hand around a spliff containing an illegal narcotic before pressuring the employee to make milkshakes for them. Logan notices Claire at the counter and approaches her to introduce himself. Soon, Eric and Josh reluctantly join him at the counter and seat close to the teacher. Logan receives a text from his mother asking him to return home, so he and Josh leave. The lone student remarks that his buddies believe the food he orders is free simply because he works at the cafe, so Claire insists on paying for the milkshakes. She claims she used to work in a diner and understands how difficult it is to make money at a young age. Their chat turns to college applications, and he expresses his desire to receive a scholarship so that he can attend the University of Texas. However, he has previously taken the SATs twice and has fallen short of the required mark both times. Suddenly, he recommends that the teacher tutor him for the exam, to which she agrees if the school allows it. Later, following the lunch, she gives him a lift home. In the car, she reveals that her brother, a cop, lives in the same region as Eric. Then she plays a Frank Ocean song on the radio, which surprises Eric because a teacher listens to this type of music, making her even more intriguing. While resting in bed, the instructor checks her phone and notices that Eric sent her a follow request, which she declines. Claire had a fantasy that night about sharing an intimate moment with her student in her married bed. Matt suddenly wakes her up and tells her that he was able to catch a late flight home. Although he wants to go to bed since he is exhausted from flying, Claire insists that they make love so that they do not squander her ovulation period. That weekend, the woman gets dressed up to go out, and when Matt asks where she's going, she claims she's having brunch with Catherine. However, she is meeting Eric at the diner to begin their first tutoring session. 1 month later, Eric and his buddies are at a house party, and he ends up kissing his ex-girlfriend Allison. Logan and Mary stroll in during the tryst, so Allison begs them to go and thinks Mary can do much better. Soon the authorities arrive to arrest the adolescents for drinking alcohol and using illegal drugs. Eric attempts to flee, but as he runs out the bedroom door, a cop is already on his way up the stairs. Later, Officer Nate Wilson instructs the pupil to blow into the breathalyzer. Knowing that a ticket from the authorities would look bad on a college scholarship application, he asks the cop whether he has a sister who works as a teacher at Westerbrook High School. He begs the officer not to notify his mother and instead phone Claire, who has been tutoring him for several weeks. Claire receives a call from her brother, who informs her of the circumstances of her student's situation. The woman urges him to overlook this one indiscretion as a favor to her, and she promises to pick Eric up as soon as possible. So she tells Matt that one of her students is in difficulty and that she needs to go out to aid him. Meanwhile, Eric sits on the curb next to Allison, who wonders how he avoided a penalty. Then her father comes to fetch her up. Later, Nate drives the student to Claire's car, and the woman thanks her brother for doing her a favor. After the cop leaves, she chastises the student for his poor choices, and he apologizes. She insists that he never tell anyone about what happened tonight, including her brother bailing him out and Claire giving him a ride home, because it could cost Nate his job. When he calls her Ms. Wilson, she informs him that he doesn't have to be so formal when they aren't at school, and that he can simply call her Claire. The next morning, Eric prepares for his tutoring session at the diner. As he is getting ready, his brother Phil phones and informs him that there is a lady at the door. To his astonishment, he finds Claire standing outside and welcomes her inside.